Whenever you hear Colorado, like if for hunting, what do you think of?
Mountains.
I think of a lot of animals and a lot of different types of environments to hunt.
Yep.
Sam just smoked one. I watched it with my binoculars. What an absolute stud here in Central Colorado. Dude, I am so freaking grateful for these opportunities. Congratulations, dude. This is freaking awesome.
Whenever you hear Colorado, like if for hunting, what do you think of?
Mountains.
Mountains.
Dreaded mountains.
I think of a lot of animals and a lot of different types of environments to hunt.
Yep.
And over the years, I've been fortunate enough to go up to Colorado, and Central Colorado in particular, with Kyle Lopez from KB Outdoors. I've had great success there. I actually started going there in 2017, killed a great mule deer in the early season hunt.
Dude, I just smoked this boy. This is an unbelievable environment, an unbelievable hunt. We have seen deer every day.
Went up there in 2018, killed a great, even a better buck at 10,000 feet.
56 yards. Woo! Brother, dude. I'm speechless, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
This year, we had an opportunity to not only hunt mule deer, which your schedule didn't allow you to make it to the mule deer hunt, but you were going to slip up on the hunt that was coming up, which was the elk hunt.
Yep.
And so, to say that I was excited to get to Colorado and start hunting would be an absolute understatement. I sold my house, and I have 30 days to get my shop built with living quarters and get my crap moved out of my current house into the shop behind me. And then it's gonna be sitting, my new house will be right there. We have had a long day, and things have really got out of hand pretty quickly. So I'm so excited. A little scared, but excited. Well, we are here in the shop behind the house, and as you can tell, there's walls all around me. Got my wife and my girls coming out here to look at it. It's the first time that they've had a chance to look at it. Been working on it, setting the walls up today. So most of y'all know, we sold our house, would have been the middle of July, and I had to scramble to get a shop with living quarters built from scratch with nothing. We didn't have a driveway built yet or a pad or anything. Get that built, get all of our stuff moved into it before August 30th, which is today, because tomorrow morning I leave for my first trip of the year. And as you can tell behind me, there is a shop. And as you can see right here, we are just about moved in. But we're essentially living in a giant closet until we get the new house built. Well, it is 2:30 in the morning, and I'm just about to get in the truck and head to Central Colorado and start hunting velvet mule deer with Sam Shaffer from TAP, and then roll right into an elk hunt with Trevor Johnson, and then my main man, John Christopher, is gonna be rolling into camp. But it's a very bittersweet moment because it's sweet because not only because it's the 2020 opener, but it's bitter because this is the last time I'm gonna be leaving this house. Just gave all the girls kisses. It's time to head out. Well, we are almost there. Been on the road for like 10 hours. I'm excited, I'm ready to hook up with Sam and Axel and Luke. Get after some big, and Kyle's gonna be in camp, so get after some big old velvet mule deer. 8,500 feet right now.
Maybe keep an eye on.
Well, you got a chance with those deer from this stand right?
Yeah, exactly. So the guy that's sitting in this stand over here, they could come out of there and then bend down, or they don't like to come across this much. I mean, it's pretty rare, but
Right, yeah.
So I met Brandon on his Instagram. I noticed that he posted a photo of the dinosaur museum, which just happens to be in my hometown. And I thought, man, this is crazy. A TV guy that I watch all the time, and he's in my hometown visiting a museum, and my hometown's not very big.
And he DM'd me and was like, hey man, that's in my hometown. If you ever want to come up and turkey hunt or hunt, give me a call.
Now we're talking.
And so I was like, you throw around invitations like that, they're gonna get picked up.
Right.
And so I hit him up, and me and my buddy Zach Kurzieski went up there as a part of our turkey spree, and I killed a Miriam. Both Zach and I both killed our turkeys up there.
Ever since then, I mean, we've been hunting together every single year since.
Well, Kyle just walked in and showed me this unbelievable spot. There's deer everywhere. We're on a giant trail right now. There's giant trails down here in the bottom. This is a good spot, real good spot. So Sam and I think we're gonna be in for a good hunt. Deer cooperate. Yeah, we'll see. Starting off this season, we had Sam Shaffer from TAP. Titanium Archery Products, going to be in camp with us for the early season mule deer hunt.
Hi, my name's Sam Shaffer. I own Titanium Archery Products. Well, I always start off talking about the fact I'm a father of 2 boys. I tell people about my career, about what I've had a lot of different jobs. I've done some really interesting things over the years. And you know, about the fact that some of those jobs kind of pointed me in the direction of eventually starting my own business. And that's how I developed TAP. The jobs that I had were not exactly fulfilling. My last regular job was nuclear security and had a swing shift schedule, and everything kind of aligned at the correct time. The stars really did align. I'm very blessed to be in the position I'm in, to be able to start this company. And so I focus a lot on that. I'm just a regular guy. I've been bow hunting for like almost 30 years and lived in Pennsylvania my whole life.
Sam and I, we got to the property early, and it's really kind of neat because it's right outside of a pretty good sized town, and it's actually right on the edge of some like housing additions. It's like a very suburby type hunt, and so all of our scouting that we were doing right off the main highway, and it didn't take long for us to realize that there was plenty of bucks to go after. Well, this is morning 1 of scouting, and as you can tell, we're sitting on a rock pile right here on the side of the highway. We sat here last night and seen a great group of bucks, and then there was another big group of 2 or 3 shooters that were down on the south side of the field. So if nothing else comes out or nothing else pops up, we'll learn something, and if something comes out or pops up, we'll also learn something else. Well, we are sitting here on our very familiar gravel pit day before the opener. Got Sam Shaffer and I raring to go in the morning. Had Axel and Luke raring to go with the cameras. We've seen a lot of shooters floating around. Now, starting tomorrow, it's just about getting one of them within range of each of us. And I bet you he's not alone either. Everything that we can see, we can observe for the most part, is stuff that we can't hunt. You know, it's a field that our deer are coming from and going to. So what we're really trying to do is see where they're coming to the field, see if they give us a little insight to where to set up on them tomorrow evening. Tomorrow morning, what we observed this morning, tomorrow morning we'll be back in the thick of it, waiting for them to come to us. I'm excited. We've already seen a few deer floating around, some smaller bucks. Like we're gonna see some big ones in here today. Still got about almost 2 hours. We got plenty of time. So the open day of the season, we actually slipped down there in the Arkansas River bottom, and I had a pretty slow hunt. I was on the ground. I was kind of like, you know, winging it,
Yeah.
and didn't see a whole lot. Sam had a pretty good hunt. He had a lot of does walking by him, and but we were really excited because the evenings is what we were. That's what we were really prepping for. Yeah, for sure. So the morning hunt, we were kind of like just, you know, we were trying to kill a deer, but we weren't expecting to kill a deer in the morning. Well, morning hunt is over. Just ventured over here to Sam and Axel. Now we're gonna head to the truck and make a game plan for tonight, which we have a game plan. I checked the weather a little bit ago, and it looks perfect for what we're thinking as far as putting blind up on the other side of these trees around the edge of the alfalfa for Sam, and then Luke and I will probably go. We'll either be north of them or we'll be south of them. We'll figure that out here shortly.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I could barely film those through the trees, but
Yeah, but if had those trees not been there, he's what, maybe 90 yards?
yeah.
All right, let's go game plan for tonight.
Yeah.
My name is Kyle Lopez and I own KB Outdoors. KB Outdoors is a full-service guide service up in Colorado, hunting elk, deer, bear, mountain lions, turkeys, and bighorn sheep. So I was born and raised in a little town of Divide, Colorado. My family has a ranch just to the south of there, about 27 miles or so, and so I was born and raised, you know, on the ranch itself too. So hunting and fishing and ranching has been my lifestyle for almost 30 years now. I graduated college and there really wasn't much going on. I was working at a gun shop at the time and had a guy come in that I knew that was a hunting consultant, and he made the suggestion, hey, you know, you ought to think about becoming a guide and running an outfitting business. And I thought he was crazy at the time, but looked into it some more and he funded the whole thing, and I kind of took off and running. That was in 2014, and I've never really looked back since. So like I said, we offer elk hunts in the mountains and the plains of Colorado. We offer mule deer hunts in the mountains and the plains of Colorado. Pronghorn, bear, turkey, bighorn sheep for the lucky guys that draw. But our main bread and butter is elk and deer.
Well, day one, evening number one. Got Sam Shaffer right here over my shoulder. We just parked the truck, about to walk in. We've been observing for a couple days. This is the same farm that I put in a couple years ago, and Kyle has been absolutely invaluable with the information that he's given us thus far. I think we've got a pretty good plan for tonight. We're gonna pop a blind up on the other side of these trees behind me. We watched a couple shooters come out right where this blind's gonna be. I'm pretty pumped. We're gonna put him in that blind, and I'm gonna go up the field edge a little bit, get up a little high, maybe use it as an observation night. I have a good chance of killing too, but I think that he's gonna be in the spot tonight. So, we'll see. And we get there and we pop this ground blind up, and I've never popped this ground blind up before, and it was 7 feet tall, stuck out like a sore thumb. And we were sitting around, and there's a line of trees there. And Sam was like, well, we can make a blind right here. I'm like, yes, we can. I'm glad you said that, because that is exactly what I wanted to do, because this blind, I didn't think it was gonna work in the moment like we were there. So we started prepping that blind. And either jump right here, there's a low spot right there. They're gonna jump there, I'm gonna broadside shot. Or right here. I wouldn't have to move. I mean, there's a low spot right there left of the fence. Yeah. So I would say they're gonna go there. If the wind stays right, this is perfect. Yeah, the only problem is they're gonna be at 20 yards. Yeah, no, and that's what you're gonna see. It's gonna happen quick. Yeah, but I was actually gonna go up the hill. I was about 250 yards from him, but I could see him down there in the bottom, and the night started off just like all the other nights. You know, we started seeing younger bucks, does coming out, and we looked down at Sam from 200 yards and we see a buck right there in front of his blind.
Sam just smoked one. I watched it through my binoculars at 150 yards. The buck died right in front of us. This is crazy. There's deer everywhere. This is nuts. Did you get him going down? Did you get the shot? Dude. This is nuts. Just hammered him. You freaking smoked him. I smoked him. He went down. He went down hard. He went down, bro. I completely was like, it was so fast. That's what I'm saying. I kept thinking, if a deer comes this way, I'm screwed. Because I was sitting so I could shoot. And I'm thinking, like, how's Axel gonna tell me if a deer's coming? Then I thought, you know what? Dude. Just focus on the right. It literally just popped. I mean, I'm like, all of a sudden there it was. That was crazy. I'm so freaking happy. Oh my God.
Bro, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, sir.
Like,
I'm excited.
This was one of the most unique things I've ever experienced in the field. Watching you from a couple hundred yards.
Yeah. Well, I can say it was one of the most unique things I've experienced in the field.
Right.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it truly was. Yeah. Even from the very beginning, I had this. We had this feeling like tonight was going to go right.
Right.
And it did.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was such a rush, the way that all played, because everything, the tension was so high. That's where I gotta say, like, the practice and the mental rehearsing comes into play. It's like keeping yourself calm and making the shot. Because I could have, my heart was racing.
That's where a lot of people falter, is not having that mental fortitude to capitalize on the opportunities in front of them, and you did a great job. Incredible.
Well, thank you. It's up. I owe a lot of thanks to you. I owe a lot of thanks to these guys for the opportunity to be here with you.
But man,
yeah,
that was an incredible night. I'll never forget tonight, man.
There's no way I'll forget. No way I'll forget.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yep. No way. And hey, just it all played out right. I had a deer come out. Initially, I was thinking like, hey, is he a good shooter? And I didn't think he was, so I didn't draw. And then I started second guessing myself a little bit and thinking, you know what, his rack is pretty good.
I literally was looking through my binoculars when I seen him shoot, the arrow come out of the buck, and then the buck ran straight to us and fell right in front of us.
That's awesome.
It was incredible.
You can't happen like that. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
The things that you get to see, getting to be out in the outdoors, you can't replicate that.
It was a crazy, crazy experience. Like, I've never had to stay in that position to be that ready, that long on a deer. And I was ecstatic, man, just so ecstatic. That's the epitome. That's the monument. That's the mountain for me right now, at the top of it.
Crazy excited for him, but also knowing that there are so many more shooters on the farm, and now I have it all to myself.
Right.
It's out here midday. We took the morning off. We got some photos and helped Sam take care of his buck. It's awesome, and got a great buck last night on the opener. So tonight we're gonna go back to the same spot that he was sitting, except for I'm gonna be there with my buck. I'm just shooting the old Hoyt, making sure everything's still dialed in, and it is thus far. So we'll shoot a few more and then eat, and then head out and hopefully get a shot tonight. The next night, we actually decided to slip back. We had the same wind. We decided to slip back in the same blind that we had made. And you know, one thing that was hurting Sam the night before is that he couldn't see the deer coming out. And so I took a lot of time and actually cut out a bunch of brush, or I cut a window that was this big, looking down where I thought the main trail was. So if they crossed that window, I'd be able to at least be ready. That right there is just so I can see something come around that corner. Well, just getting settled in. Day 2 here in central Colorado. As you can see, we are buried up in these willow trees. We're sitting in the same spot that Sam was sitting last night. Luke and I were up on the hill watching the whole thing. I am pumped because this spot has produced in the past, not only yesterday, but in the past with Kyle. KB Outdoors, this is my 3rd year hunting with him, actually my 4th year hunting with him. And I've had success with Kyle as well, so super unique situation. Holed up inside of some willow trees. But there is a major trail right here. We actually cut a little window through these willows just so we can catch a glimpse of them as they're walking by, so we can get ready by the time they get in our shooting lane. But we should have anywhere between a 5-yard and a 40-yard shot. So very much looking forward to tonight. Been seeing a lot of shooters. Hopefully one gets within range. We were sitting there and it was a pretty slow night, actually a really slow night. I was getting kind of worried that maybe we had spooked him the night before, you know, because we had to fiddle around getting his buck out of there and stuff, you know. I thought maybe we'd spooked him somehow, but right at last light, through that window, we spot one of the big shooters walking through. That'll work, buddy. That will work, sir. That will work, sir. Watch him. Watch him. Stay on 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 him. Are you kidding me? What an absolute stud here in central Colorado. Hunting with my absolute best buddy, Kyle Lopez. I got Sam Shaffer in camp. Season 2 of My World Outdoors just got kicked off with a bang. That's a stud. Axel. Luke. Dude. Absolute stud. Just punched him, dude. I gotta call my wife. Are you still rolling? Hello?
Hi, is it real safe for you?
I gotta be quick, but look what I'm doing. I just drilled, I think, our #1 buck. So
Awesome.
he's down right behind me 100 yards. So I can't believe it. So, babe, I got Luke filming over the shoulder. I got Axel's down here that way. I gotta go, baby. I just want to tell you, I love you. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
All right, hey, tell the girls I love them. Love you, girls. This is never a bad feeling here. That'll work. Let's go up here. We watched them go down right here on top of this hill. They were about to jump. Look over here at this black hole that we were in. Oh my. They were on this trail right here. He was gonna jump right here. And we knocked some of the brush down getting out, but that black hole right over my shoulder is where we were perched up. What an experience. What an absolute, look at those mountains behind us, dude. Gosh. What a giant. What an absolute giant. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a large animal. Holy cow. I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. This is a large mule deer. I've been very fortunate in my hunting career to kill some great mule deer, but this is a great one. And to have it unfold the way it has, sitting in a spot that Sam Shaffer killed a great buck last night, and I got to watch it from 200 yards. This was our #1 buck, in my opinion, that was kind of hanging out on this side of the farm. And he came out with the same group of bucks that we've been watching for the last 4 days. And lucky that we picked the right trail tonight. Holy cow, just a stud. It's my first kill with a Hoyt. I feel good, it feels good. It's a freaking shooting sucker. 25 yards, the Hoyt and the Carbon Express arrows and the Muzzy did work. He ran 70 yards and tipped over dead on the hill. Look at these. His fronts are huge. Tons of mass, absolute tons of mass. Big brow tines. Look at those brow tines. Just, holy cow. Sam, what do you think about that?
Guy's giant.
Look
at this guy.
This is the boxy one.
That's the boxy one. Yeah, the 4x came out right in front of him.
I mean, I could see his rack sticking up. I figured you had to be on.
Dude, he came out. So we cut a lane where I could see the trail, and then we cut a lane where Luke could see the trail. That way we could keep eyes on what was coming up that road. And sure enough, he goes, "Hey, there's antlers coming, antlers coming." And I look up, and as soon as I looked up, I seen him walking across my opening. And then as soon as I got the camera, I turned my GoPro camera on, turned my other GoPro camera on, I got it going. And as soon as I was bringing the deal up, the 4-point, walked in front of it, and he's big, he's real big. Walked right in front of 20 yards, and I was like, oh. And I grabbed my rangefinder and was ranging him, but I knew he was right behind him. Right, and then another little buck came out. I ranged him to double check, and then I shot him at 25 yards as he was coming to the fence. He stopped and looked. I believe he was looking at an axle. I don't know. Axle's just like a freaking, it's a magnet. Things just look at him. And he was looking at him, and I just came to full draw, and then he turned slowly at me, looked at me, and I just got on him and shot. And that's the...
Dude, he was coming. That was a smart move.
Dude, he's wide, ain't he? Isn't that something? This was an incredible experience. Not only is it a great buck, I mean, a big velvet buck, and I've been very fortunate, truly fortunate to have the success that I've had for velvet mule deer. Now, we kill on September the 3rd, our focus is going to shift to elk.
To elk.
Today's a glorious day. We are about to start elk hunting. Pretty fortunate to have the run of the place, if you will. It's a big farm. It's a long farm, so like it's, as far as acreage, it's not like a whole lot of acreage, but it plays a lot bigger because of the length of the farm. And it has one big canyon going up it with a bunch of feeder draws going up into the mountains. Well, they're really the foothills of the Rockies. Look at us, they're mountains.
Definitely mountains. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah. We're early in the season at this point. It's early September. Bulls aren't really like fired up yet. And I'm not familiar with the property. And you're coming in a couple weeks, about a week and a half. And so I want to learn as much as I can by observing and by exploring, putting out cameras. And I also want to, hopefully get a bull, right? Because I'm definitely trying to see a bull and get, one called in. But
this is like the best camera I've ever had. This is not a joke.
For the first week, we just observed and explored and walked and put cameras out and
wow, doing some exploring this morning. And there's absolute, it's demolished from the outside. And now, we let it soak. And wait.
I'm not necessarily a great caller, but I tried my hardest.
And these bulls are fired up. We've heard 4 different bulls. We only got one right here. Man, we gotta go down and get set up right now.
Trying to soak in as much of it as we could. That way, when things got right, we were ready to go. We had a freak snowstorm.
That was epic snowstorm.
A freak snowstorm come in.
We got a giant, and I mean giant, cold front coming in tomorrow morning. Front's happening right now. I think they're going to be holed up for the next 30 hours or so.
When I got there, it was cold to me, and it was like 40.
Yeah, that was not cool.
Y'all were in 12.
It was miserable. It was beautiful though. It was like,
Yeah.
Hey, I got to see my first mountain lion. That is 100%
Yep.
true. Out of all the years of traveling, all the cool places I've been, I've never seen a mountain lion in the wild. And I did there, and it was incredible. We had a lot of fun, me and Luke, just hanging out, learning, and playing in the snow, and they were just piling out of everywhere. It was unbelievable. It was like the snow came and they just came out of the woodwork.
So I guess this peak works.
Including one giant shooter with a half rack. You and Trevor rolled into camp.
Yep. It was me, Mitch, and Trevor.
Yep. Y'all roll into camp, and you'd been on a pretty long run. You were in Oklahoma and then went to Kentucky.
Right.
And so you were going to take the first morning off.
Right.
And so that first morning we go out, we go to a familiar spot that we've been setting for like over a week now.
Well, just cracking day. And as you can tell, it's clear skies behind me. It's cold. And if you maybe can hear it in the background, it's sweet elk music. We got a herd with a big bull. Oh, probably a mile walking straight at us. I think that they're gonna come up this valley, hopefully. We got another bull bugling straight down this meadow. And our wind's blowing just like this. So what we're gonna do is wait for them to get up or wait for the thermals to get going. Depends on where they get. But wait for them to work this way. And we got a whole posse with us today. We got my main man, Trevor Johnson. He's gonna call me in a bull. So, He's a big bull. But just for the record, I'll shoot anything. That's exactly how we watched the big group the other day, Trev. They came down the meadow like this, walked to these cedar trees, and then turned exactly how they are. It's exactly what they did last time. The thing reversed. Alright, I got the cows. We're on the other side of the ditch. They have to jump onto us.
And this is why we spent all those days scouting, because I knew right where they were, or at least I thought I knew where they were, and I knew where I could get to in front of them.
Get in front of them, right.
And we decided, to go make a play on them. This is the first really big bull that we've seen that we had an opportunity to make a play on. And so we take off across this big valley, try to get in front of them.
We're about 200 yards. We're about 300 yards from where I last seen him. 200 yards from where I want to be. So, it's time to get ready. Get to this hill. Figure out where we're at. Hopefully he lets off a bugle. He ain't talking a whole lot. That hill. So we're gonna let him get past us. And then Trev's gonna get back here somewhere and we're gonna start calling and try to pull that bull up the hill a little bit. He's coming across the open right there. See him? In the mood. We couldn't get around in front of him a while ago because of the wind. And there wasn't any, we were at the end of that meadow. So we had a bad wind and we wouldn't be able to see very good. It's been a very productive morning, by far our best morning. We just had an encounter with an absolute stud herd bull. I don't know, maybe 15 cows, 15 cows, somewhere in there. Got to within 100 yards a couple times. He just would never peel back toward us, toward the cow car. We got in his back pocket, his hip pocket, and bugled a couple times. Pissed him off. He started making a rub. We could see 150 yards to timber. And we followed him right here with this ultimate predator decoy. And he just kept following his cows up. He wasn't interested in what was happening behind him. Or at least not interested enough into entering over toward us. We are going back this evening. We had to go back into town this morning, mid-morning.
take care of some, well, we had to check out of a hotel and get moved over to an Airbnb. But this evening, we know the draw that the big bull that we had the encounter with and his herd went up. We have decided to set in the exact same spot we started out this morning at. Reason being, we're pretty good ways from where he went up, but we can see that entire face that they were on, and hopefully we can catch their herd milling around in there, and then catch them coming down, and hopefully get in front of them. Honestly, I think if we can catch them coming down, we can get in front of them without having to make a call. Plus, we're right off the edge of the meadow where the majority of the elk that we have seen the past week have been moving down in the evening, so we'll be able to get in front of anything that's moving down the meadow itself too. So I'm excited. I got Trev. He's in camp. He's waiting for JC or myself to kill so he can jump on the boat. Until then, he's going to be running the old squeaker. And got Mitch and Luke running the cameras right now. Looking to repeat a morning encounter, except for one extra step.
That evening, we're sitting on the side of the hill. It's us three again. You're at camp getting dinner ready.
Yep.
And we're at a spot we're actually at a spot looking at where we seen that bull go up that morning, trying to see him come down, and we're gonna run in front of him, and hopefully get him killed. And I got a phone call from my wife that our shop house that we had just moved into had burned down with everything we own in it.
Yep.
That was September 11th. And of course, whenever I got that phone call, I went home.
Could have been worse, baby.
Well, just walked over to the house, had to grab something to get ready for. Got a RV coming. My dad's letting me borrow the RV for the time being, but I want to thank everyone for the thoughts and the prayers and the well wishes and kind words. I went from thinking 2 days ago that someone had died, I thought one of my kids had died, to thinking that we lost everything that we owned, to only losing, some of the stuff that we own. So it's incredibly fortunate from where we could be.
Well, it's been 3 days since I got home, and there's not a whole lot we can do right now, except for hurry up and wait, meet with the inspectors and people, the restoration people. The smoke damage is extensive. It's bad. We lost everything. We have no clothes. My family doesn't have f***ing clothes. It's hard to sleep at night whenever you're sleeping in an RV and you can hear your family cry themselves to sleep at night. Not only did, losing everything that we had, losing every piece of clothing and all the mounts and all that stuff, not only did that happen, but I also left the mountain like the days that the elk hunting was the best.
Right.
And so I'm at home taking care of the most important thing, which is my family. And then you stayed in camp and continued to hunt with everyone.
Hi guys, we're here. Look out in Colorado. Elk hunting, my first day out.
This will be my second elk hunt. I've rifle hunted in New Mexico, and this will be my bow hunt in Colorado.
This is your first time actually having to talk to them,
Right.
Try to get them within bow range.
Right.
Probably 200 yards from us.
I don't know how fast these elk are, but you can't catch them. I ran up, ran down the mountain. I was like, I think I lost 45 pounds.
This has never happened on a JC watch. My exercise goal for the day is already hit. It's 6:30 in the morning.
Personally, I've never gone that much up and down mountains.
Holy
Man, and we'd be on the left mountain, they'd bugle on the right mountain, they'd be over on the right mountain. Trevor's like, we're gonna go this way, we're gonna go up this mountain right here, there's another lookout point, we're gonna see this, and we're gonna cut them off. We get there, and this thing's already 200 or 300 yards past that cabin. Like, and they're not, I mean, they're not running.
Yeah.
They are walking, and I'm running. And I'm as big as them, I feel. And yeah, so.
It's comparable.
Close encounters, fun time. It was exciting hearing the bugles. You know, that's like all me and Mitch could talk about every day when we got back. I was like, man, just being 100 yards from them and hearing them bugle.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm like, it got me and Mitch fired up.
I feel good about tomorrow evening.
I feel real good about tomorrow evening. I think we got him kind of pinpointed. We're gonna get up here a little earlier.
They're just not wanting to come down, so we're gonna go up as high as we can on our property and
We're gonna meet them.
get them to come to us.
The last evening though, we were coming and man, we had one and he would not break the wood. If he breaks the wood line, I got the shot. He just never stepped out. Enjoyed it. Loved the place, loved the setup. Can't wait to go back this next year. We're gonna get a mule deer and get the elk. So I'm pretty fired up about that. Gonna be doing a lot of moving around then too, so I'm pretty fired up about it.
We're gonna get it done next year, though.
Oh yeah, I feel good.
I was actually off the mountain for 10 days, obviously taking care of life's problems.
Life's problems, 2020.
But there was a little bit of time left in the season, and the season ended at the end of September. And so I actually came back to Colorado about 4 or 5 days after you had left. Was trying to fill that tag.
Right.
We went into turbo with the shop as far as cleanup, did everything. We waited for the investigation, all that stuff to get over. They determined that it was a remote in the cushion of the sofa, and as soon as we got the okay, we started gutting and cleaning everything out. And so yesterday we had a huge group of people come out. I mean, a bunch of people, and I'm so grateful for everyone that came out. And we got everything moved that could be moved, and most of it was thrown away. So that was fun. But now I'm ready to go finish this elk hunt. So I'm gonna leave the old RV. My dad's let me borrow the RV because technically my family and I are homeless right now because we closed on our house last week. So the reason why Trevor Johnson was in camp is because we actually offered him an elk hunt.
An elk hunt, right.
We had 3 tags on this property, on this particular piece of property. You and I took one apiece, and then we were going to give the other one to Trevor because Trevor is the nicest human in humans.
And he likes me more than BA.
Yeah, well, I know that. Yeah, everyone does. I don't know anyone that
I don't
would
blame.
think the opposite. I mean,
It's awesome.
but since I left and then you didn't kill, Trevor actually never even got the tag.
Right.
And so we had an extra tag.
Right.
I call Scott Bakken from HHA.
Hi, I'm Scott Bakken with HHA Sports, and today we're sighting in our brand new Optimizer Light.
And say, hey man, got an elk hunt. Do you wanna come? Just all you gotta do is get to Colorado.
Yep.
He was like, I'll be there tomorrow.
Perfect.
He didn't hesitate. And so I'm hauling back up to Colorado. Scott's coming in to Colorado the next day. So I got an evening hunt before Scott gets in. Just arriving back here on the property after a week hiatus, taking care of some business at home with a set of unfortunate events occurring in my house. And we get there, and it was kind of a slow. You had told me how hot it was.
Yes.
Trevor had told me how hot it was. I was expecting a lot, and I get there and it was slow again. So I missed the peak of the goodness of the middle of September that we all dream of when we think of bow hunting elk. But right at last light, they started firing off.
I'm thinking about just staying in the middle of the field and find one of these pines. We're in a good spot. Hope if they start talking, then we'll move to something. There's probably 400 or 500 yards up there. I kind of want to get closer now. Right there. Oh, my release. Dude. What happened? What happened? I had dirt, like shit, you know, crammed in my release. I can still feel it right now. Oh my God. That's disappointing. I worked so hard. This is my 9th day out here. I had to take a hiatus because my house burned down. That was a great bull. Nothing wrong with that bull at all. That's a big bull. 50 yards. I'm so sorry. It's unfortunate. It's I want to be clear though that it's not the release's fault. This is 100% my fault. I was crawling around trying to get position on the elk, and I shoved basically a bunch of grit inside of the head of the release, and you know, it's also my fault for punching the trigger. If I didn't punch the trigger, then I wouldn't have missed by 4 feet. But we got Scott is back at the hotel right now. We're about to hook up with him and hopefully get him on a bull the next few days. So it's just been a rough week and a half. Ready for something good to happen. It's been some pretty strenuous times in the Adams family right now. So
Just another thing to add to the list.
But now, Scott rolled into camp, and we're gonna tag team these bulls. We're gonna call for each other. You know, it's a lot more effective whenever you have a caller that's behind you 100 yards, and then they can maneuver and move and get that bull to hopefully come in front of you. That's enough what we're gonna do. And so we hit the first day. It was kind of a slower day. Not a whole lot happened. You know, we heard some bulls.
Had a pretty slow morning. They didn't talk much.
But it was a pretty slow day. And then the next morning, we actually heard quite a bit of, we heard the craziness that we all envision when it comes to elk hunting. And
Well, it's just breaking day. It is our second morning of our second trip. We're hearing more bugles this morning. I would bet a body part, 2 bugles from up this valley, probably about where we stopped and talked about. Remember you talked about guiding yesterday? That's about where it sounded like they were. Hope he comes to us, just in case he's a satellite bull. Don't want to intimidate him. That's right here, that's the one, yeah. Let's go that way. Let's just keep on the truck. Hey. Yeah, hey man. Like, we're hearing some bugles. Maybe we're working into it. Yes. I think we gotta get closer, man. Yeah, I really do. I think that you know where that split is? I think he was on the left side of that split. I think we need to get to the trees for sure. Yeah, right there. At least get you set up 40 yards on that side of this edge. At least. Yeah, you'd be about even with the cabin. In fact, I got a perfect spot for you. I already know where it's at. And we'll at least start there. And see if we can gauge where he's at. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, definitely we're gonna give him time, though. Hey, man. That was a bugle. That's how it's supposed to work right there. Now, my man, he definitely had a right beam, because that's what I seen. He's not a big bull, but he's got points. It's a freaking elk, dude. He was sitting there chuckling. I really thought he was gonna come on the road. That's what I saw. And I saw right there, this thick shit right where he ran to. Yeah. I saw movement, and I pointed to him. And I saw it was a rack, and I was like, man, that's it. Like, okay. He was bugling. Yeah. He sounded like a good bull. That's what they do. Well, whatever. Yeah, dude, I mean, it's an elk. All right, it's been about an hour since Scott pulled the trigger. So now, we're gonna go over there and look at his arrow, look at the blood, and then hopefully find a down bull. He's gonna wrap the arrow in him. Hey, bro, I feel good about that, sir. I smelled the most pulling the smell. Oh my God, dude. You just gotta freaking help me. They're so awesome. Dude. Dude, that's not, I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that shot.
It's not a giant, but.
Dude, how hard is it to kill an elk? Be easy to get off the mountain. He's snack size. Dude, I'm so freaking happy, man. That's awesome. Hey, Scott, what'd you just do? I love it.
That's sweet. Path down the mountain.
Dude. Congratulations, dude.
That's sweet, dude.
This is freaking awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, dude, don't get caught up in the size, though.
Just the way they got it.
Yeah.
Like, it literally worked perfectly.
Right. It really did. And he gave it.
He's kind of got that weird little.
He's starting to well tail.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Getting close. 7, 10, 12. Scott. Bakken for the win. Oh, man. Unfortunately, Chris didn't get it on camera because, you know, stuff happens. It's like just crazy.
Right.
It's bang, 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 and it's thick. And, you know, where the bull happened to come out was behind a tree, and Chris never got it on camera, but at like 50 yards, Scott drew back and smoked his rear.
Yep.
Found it right off the bat. We quartered him up, got him off the mountain. It was an incredible experience. That's how you draw it up.
Perfect.
Bull screaming, hunter gets up here, caller gets back here, you know, calling past him. And I actually got to watch it with my own eye. I watched the bull. I watched the arrow go into the bull. You know, it was probably 60 yards from me. I mean, it was really cool.
Awesome.
I was super happy for Scott, and I still had like 5 or 6 days to be up there, and so I continued to hunt. Now, unfortunately, the elk didn't quite cooperate with me, but I learned a lot. I had a couple of close calls that we didn't get a whole lot of footage for with, because, you know, it's just thick and
it is thick.
It's thick. Yeah. So you're hearing audio. You know, you can hear the audio of the bull screaming, but you can't see him. And when you do see him, it's you know, you don't get good footage, and that's just the way it is because of the nature of the hunt. But not being successful, a lot of times for me, puts more of a fire in me to get it done next time than if I would have been up there and just popped one on the first day.
Right.
And so, having learned as much as we did, it's a ghost town this morning, man. It's so crazy how the switch was flipped yesterday. They were freaking nut wild. I don't know. And having experienced what we did experience, I am more excited now than I was last year to get up there and hunt elk. This is a close to my Colorado season. It's been good to me. Killed a big old mule deer. Watched 2 other animals get taken. Had an opportunity in an elk. I blew it. And had some close calls. So, better off for it. This farm and this area of the country is just absolutely beautiful. A lot of wildlife. Grateful to have the opportunity to be out here. Grateful for the opportunities I was presented. Can't ask for anything more than opportunity. I gave it an honest run. You don't always get one.
I'm pretty excited myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that was my first time bow hunting, and really hearing bugles. I mean, I heard them 1 or 2 before in my life, but this right here was crazy. I mean, it was a madhouse, and I know you didn't get to experience that much, but that 1 or 2 days. But I'm telling you, for 4 days, it was on fire.
One thing I do know, if we will be back in Colorado with Kyle Lopez,
and I'm killing.
Incredible country.
Yes.
Next year, you're going to be up there with the mule deer hunt.
Right.
And we're going to elk hunt.
And we're going to elk hunt. And I'm killing both of them. Put it down. Write that down right now. Calling the 100% guaranteed kills.
That's aggressive, and I like it.
I like it.